Welcome back to Gemstone Podcast. It is me, LP. I have Chy and Zack with me today. Before we get started, make sure you go like and subscribe to our podcast. You can find us on various platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify Anchor, Amazon Podcasts, and Pandora Podcasts. You can also follow us on YouTube. If you would like to send us fan mail, you can always email us at gemstonepodcast@gmail.com. That is gemstonepodcast@gmail.com. Chy, Zack, how y'all doing?
I'm doing well, Lance. How you doing?
Hey, one step at a time, one day at a time.
Zach?
I'm feeling good, baby. It's good to be back on the pod. Everybody's good be back with the Gemstones family.
Yes, sir. I'm feeling well myself. Well, guys, we want to get into some things today. Happy that we all back on the same episode. We miss y'all. Continue to send us fan mail, but I want to get into my topic first. And the guy was talking about how Michael Bloomberg, he's a billionaire. I'm not sure what industry he's in, but he's a billionaire. So, like about 2024, he donated about $400 million to HBCUs, which was a massive donation, right? And then as of recently, he donated 175 million to. So, my question is, now we know that in spiking of recent years, we've seen a lot of billionaires. I don't know if y'all know about the Amazon, his ex-wife, who's super, super rich. She helped him start Amazon. She's always donating to HBCUs. So my question poses, do you think what is the reason behind this? Is it genuinely, wanting to see HBCUs strive and do well? Is it for tax reasons or is it another reason why? Is it, does he want to save the HBCUs? What you guys think about it? Now, in my opinion, I think it's a mix of all three. I think, of course, it's a great tax write off, it's a donation. Number two, all the colleges that he's donated to have been medical college. I have a friend that went to I don't know how to say it, but I think it's Meharry Medical College. I have a friend that actually went to that college, which is a great school. I didn't know it was a HBCU though. But yeah, I have a friend that went there, which I've always heard it was a great school. And then the other one is Howard University of College of Medicine. And so he's donated to Meharry before, but his recent donation was straight just to Meharry. So, which is in Nashville. But it's a very large donation to the schools. What do you guys think? Is it genuine or is he trying to say the colleges? Also, like I said, it's all medical colleges as well. That's like, okay, we do need, you know, advanced in medical colleges. We do need a lot of these schools have the students, you just never know who may be enrolled in your school. We might have someone that can cure cancer one day. We might have someone that can develop something that can change the world. Pouring back into these HBCUs is very important. And so I salute him for that, especially like I said, it's all medical colleges that he has donated to. So, and like I said, his name is Michael Bloomberg. I've heard his name before, but is he in the medical industry? I think no, he's a businessman in the form. That's why I know him from. So he's the former mayor of New York City. And he's also an older man. He's worth $109 billion, which come on now, that's a lot of money to spend. He's 84 years old, so there is no way that he could possibly spend this kind of money. He's also a Democrat. And he went to Harvard Business School. He went to Johns Hopkins University, and he went to that was his high school. So yeah. So what you guys think? And again, once again, salute to him for wanting to pour into these schools. And I'm happy that it's added to the schools. When I was in college, my HBCU did not have an engineering department, and we did not have aviation. And we've been able to acquire all of these new departments in fields that are very important, like aviation, engineering. We were able to acquire these schools from donating from people, millionaires, billionaires like this guy, providing funding. I remember we had different scholarship programs and all that. So now we have a medical college, I'm not medical college, an engineering school, and we also have aviation, and also our law school has drastically grown as well. So what y'all think? What y'all think about him donating? Do y'all think it's a genuine donation? Do y'all think the tax write-off, which we know is a tax write-off, but do y'all think it's genuine, or do y'all think he's trying to say to people, what y'all think?
Well, when I looked it up and I researched it, when we talked about what we were going to discuss today, it said that Bloomberg, his charitable foundations are considered to be committed to landmark gifts to HBCU medical schools and education initiatives. And he started this in 2024. His key endowments were to Charles Drew University Medicine of Sciences. Shout out to Charles Drew School of Medicine. Harvard University College School of Medicine, Mary Medical College, and Morehouse School of Medicine. So I'm guessing that whatever charitable foundation he created is specifically committed to landmark gifts, which means, so landmark gifts mean that these particular institutions are trying to expand, are trying to build like new spaces, new buildings, things like that to because I know for sure that, for one, I know Charles Drew University of Medicine and Science, I think they right now are in their provisionary standing for being a legit standalone school of medicine, because if I'm not mistaken, they were linked to UCLA School of Medicine, but now they're about to be standalone, where they want to have their own pipeline as far as putting physicians into the workforce, like medical physicians, whatever it may be, in the workforce for when surrounding medicine practices. Yeah, say he donated $600 million as a gift, and this started in 2004 for charitable foundations. And like you said, Sha, the last one was Meharry Medical School, and then he also did Morehouse. Y'all know I'm here for this because I'm big on HBCUs, and I mean we had a big segment like a few months ago where I was going crazy because I said that we need to have more HBCUs that kind of advance medical practice due to the medical disparities around the minorities in this country. Because when it comes to health outcomes around minority population, they're very bad. They're very high, like hypertension is high, mortality among pregnancy is high. It's just bad. Like the data and the statistics are really bad. And that's because we don't have a lot of physicians that kind of look like us, so to speak. And I mean I mean traditional Black Americans, traditional Hispanic Americans, traditional not foreigners, but someone who actually grew up, born in this country, grew up, and I'm not trying to be biased by any opinion, but by any means, but we don't have that. Shout out to Bloomberg though. But I think that, I don't know if it's a tax write-off, but they say he has strong ties to HBCUs. And it started in 2024, where he created a foundation for landmark gifts to HBCU medical schools and education initiatives. But to back up a second, because who is Mr. Michael Bloomberg? He's a businessman and a philanthropist. Sorry, I always butcher that word. But he's been donating to HBCUs for
Yeah,
a
so the former
long-standing
mayor of New
time.
York.
Yeah, but he's been donating to HBCUs for a long-standing time. Because it said Bloomberg's family donated to Houston Baptist University a while back. So his family may have, if you do more extensive research, I mean, Zach, you can look it up. His family may have some ties. Like maybe somebody was on a board of trustee, or was considered a founder of some HBCU many decades ago. But I mean, I don't know. I didn't look that up, but I mean, it did say that his family was donating to HBCUs long standing. So this may be something that he just is carrying, like, a lineage thing that he just, continuing, like going forward. Like this is a tradition family wise. But it's really good that he chose medical schools. Y'all remember I said for the Black community to advance, that HBCUs have to have more medical and health science initiatives that are catered toward Black poor healthcare outcomes and disparities. But this type of proactiveness actually adheres to what I said, because if we have more Black physicians, more schools of medicines, that because with the cuts that the Trump administration has put in place, it has significantly impaired HBCU School of Medicine and Health Sciences. I know for sure Charles Drew University, because they heavily rely on grants and grant funding. So if we're going to cut, if we're going to cut grants, and then we're going to also make it where the language and the jargon that you put in grants can't be surrounding disparities or minority populations, where that directly impacts HBCU's medicine and sciences programs specifically. So him providing that donation kind of gives them some leeway and some wiggle room to now rebuild some of the programs that they probably did lose. But I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
You asked me a question about the board members. I don't see anything so far. I do see one of his, I think it's called. She's on the KIPP
Yeah.
Foundation in the National Allegiance of Public Charter Schools. But I like it. I like that the HBCUs are hitting a different demographic and getting people to want to support their schools. And like you said, we need more of our schools to have all the technology, so a lot of our black kids will want to go to those schools. We already have the culture and everything that's built with our HBCUs, but now we have everything structure wise that PWI has. It just makes it harder for you to say, why not us? Why not go to us? I had to make that same decision just recently when I was going back to school. Why not a HBCU or PWI? And you have to make those choices and you choose which one you feel like has more structure to do what you want to do for it. So once we start keep getting these millions and all these foundations, and then we start supporting our own selves, it's just gonna keep building us up further and further. And I think it's gonna be perfect for us.
The one thing that stands out to me though, Zach, is that we take the conversation to a different space, right? Like Michael Bloomberg, great. We really appreciate that you donated this much money to medical and educational initiatives to historically black colleges. And specifically, it's not many. It's really not many. The ones that were named are the only that we have in our country. Like literally, that's it. And that's a very small sample size considered, to the PWIs in this country. But think about how this can advance the workforce when it comes to the healthcare workforce. If these institutions now are being given endowments that large, then it monopolizes the playing field when it comes to higher education, because now we're looking at it from like take a, as my grandmother used to say, and I heard others say, eagles don't fly with pigeons. So look at it from an eagle's perspective, because they're so high up in the air. If HBCUs now are being given, and obviously they got to divide that money up, but if they're being given that amount of money, then now they're being given legs to a table where things were taken away, now it's being given back. But not only is it being given back, it's being given back tenfold. Now I have the money. I'm not scraping pennies together. I actually have actual dollars in my pocket. Now I can actually build and develop sustainable programs, medical programs that can really adhere to the underserved population. What people don't understand is that when it comes to healthcare, the underserved population is always talked about. That's the main discussion. When you got county hospitals, you got FQHCs, you got all these underserved quote unquote interventions surrounding health institutions, but funding is always the question. How can we fund this? How can we fund this? I've been in healthcare for too long, over a decade, and I've always worked in a setting where it's always been where I have to assist the underserved population. And overarching conversation that we always have is, how can we fund this? If I go get a contract for something, when I bring it back to our VP of finance, it's going, okay, well, what budget? Where can we pull this money from? Where can we do that? Okay, we don't have this much. And now we're looking at a program that's really good, but now it can't be sustainable because we don't have the finances to truly advance it. Rather, when it comes to private institutions that have that sustainable financial impact, they don't really try to adhere to the underserved population. They adhere to the population that has private insurance, which is mostly the Caucasian population.
If I may,
yeah,
I think the biggest problem is people come up with ideas and then want to go find the money for the ideas instead of coming up with the money and then come up with the ideas. That's what's wrong with public health, is because not to get off topic from your specific topic, Chy, but that's what's wrong with public health is they come up with ideas, they make this whole game plan, and then they say, who can we send this game plan to make the money or to do what we need to do? When you should be saying, how do we build the money to do the goals we want to do for our community first. But that's what I feel like the HBCU, just to tie it back together, is working on right now is how do we get money to build our community and our HBCUs back to where it needs to be at, or where they need to be at to compete with the other schools now.
But
I'm here for that.
But Zach, it goes back to that conversation we had many months ago. If they get the money, we got to make sure we have leaders in place that's not going to misappropriate the funds. Now, let's think about this. We have specified HBCUs that are surrounding medicine. And let's not even add educational initiatives. Let's just focus on medicine and health sciences. Medicine and health sciences, HBCUs have been given a large amount of money. Okay, so in the next 2 to 3 years, we should see sustainable programs being birthed and pushed from these HBCUs. If we do not see it, it is because the leadership is misappropriating the funds. And I hate to say this, they have to take this. Okay.
Because $600 million ain't nothing.
Cap.
$600 million ain't nothing.
Cap.
How much you want to bet? $100 million ain't nothing, dog. You know how fast you can lose that in just building a building for a school?
Cap, I'm telling you, listen, I'm telling you, when I ain't gonna say the school name, but it's in Tyler, Texas. And I was a part of the initiating founding team that built the accreditation program and built all contracts associated with developing that school of medicine. All they had was $90 million that was donated from private funders, and they built a school of medicine out there. I'm not gonna say the name of the school, but you know where Tyler is, Tyler, Texas. All they had was $90 million. You don't need 600 million. You don't need 300 million, because all you need is to have private funders like they have right now. But it's only one. I'm pretty sure this may be a monopoly. Other people may start doing this as well, but they did that with 90 million, and they got to sustain. And what I'm going to say, hold on, what I'm going to say is that the programs that were built for that school of medicine, and I'm still talking about in Tyler, Texas, were supposed to be adhered to the underserved population. Once they start breaking ground and building that building, and now they have a class that's coming out of that, the initiatives have changed because of the population they truly do want to serve. That's why I'm saying the leadership of that team did not misappropriate the funds. They maximized that dollar amount. Now, when they maximize it, they got some type of return of investment, some type of way. Now, I ain't a part of that. I don't know how they got that, but they do got return of investment, what they have now monopolized that 90 million into something more. So what I'm saying is the leadership of these HBCUs have to adopt some of the same practices. I'm not saying be malicious. I'm not saying do something wrong. I'm saying I've been in the rooms, I've been in the spaces. I know what these contracts look like. They have to maximize the money that they have. You saying 600 million ain't enough? Oh, it is. Trust me. I'm telling you.
I blame you for this right now, Shy, because you started this damn thing again now.
I'm telling you.
But it's 600 million. If you really buying,
that is a lot. That's a lot, and that's just money.
If you really buying high-end technical stuff that you need to compete with a lot of these other schools that already have it and you never had it, 600 million ain't that much when you buying stuff like that. Like when you really putting money towards the infrastructure, buying things and plants that they need. Some of them damn plants and stuff, like engineering and all them stuff, is like hundreds of thousands. And you got to buy a bunch of those, that's a lot of money. And then you still got to buy infrastructure to buy the houses, because let's be honest, a lot of these HBCUs, old dorm rooms need to go tore down and rebuilt.
Listen, I hear what you're saying, but that's when you have your director of operations of your college of medicine or your college of school of medicine. That's when they come into play and they negotiate the contracts and they negotiate the deliverables from the contract. That's why I'm telling y'all how this go. You have specified positions and people that are over contractual agreements, negotiations, and also when they get a grant before you. So let's say we write for a grant. Gemstone Podcast write for a grant. Before we even apply for the grant, guess what we have to have? We have to have a logic model. We have to already have positions. We have to already know how we're going to spend the budget before we even get the money. We send them a budget spreadsheet before we even get the money. This is how we propose we're going to spend this. Now, who does that? It's going to be a team, a strategic team. Guess who's going to lead that team? It's going to be a VP of operations or director of operations of the School of Medicine. That's why I'm saying the people in positions of power have to stop misappropriating the funds. I'm going to keep saying this because I know how HBCUs get down. And I've been in some spaces and I've been in some rooms where some of these same colleges that we talking about today, They misappropriate the funds sometimes, but that's okay. Now we have time to redeem ourselves. In 2 to 3 years, we should see programs being birthed, and I mean truly pushed in the underserved communities where they're located at to really advance disparities when it comes to negative outcomes and adverse outcomes in that specific location. Now, I'm not saying they're going to have a national impact, but they should have an impact in their community. Do y'all know where some of these HBCUs are located? You know what
Most
Charles Drew?
HBCUs,
You
most
know what Charles Drew?
HBCUs are either in urban or rural areas. Either they're in the urban inner city area or they're in some land that's donated in a rural area. That's why
Ask me where.
HBCUs
Ask me where
are.
Charles Drew School of Medicine is located.
It's an urban area.
It's in Compton. Ask me where.
Exactly.
Ask
We
me
know
where.
that.
Okay, so they're located in the actual community that needs
And
advancement.
wait a
But
minute.
not all of them are.
That's
Like she
not
just said,
HBCU.
some of them in rural areas. Like Shy said, some of these places are in rural areas, like PV, out there in the middle of the woods.
PV ain't got no. We talking about specifically HBCU School of Medicine and Sciences. PV ain't got no School of Medicine. PV ain't got no health science.
You sure about that?
I don't know if you're sure about that one, twin. They got a medical school out there, PV.
PV got a medical school.
They do.
And Charles Drew is not an HBCU.
I'm about to look it up. I want to see. I want to see PV having the School of Medicine.
I'm pretty sure my cousin just went to that school.
PV Prairie View A&M does not have its own freestanding medical school, but partners with Texas A&M Health Science. Here we go. Partners with Texas A&M School of Sciences.
They're the sister school of PV. I mean,
that's a pipeline. Listen to what I'm telling y'all. That is a pipeline. That is a pipeline. That's not
literally
truly,
their sister school. That's the school they're underneath.
But just listen. That is a pipeline. That's not truly a standalone freestanding school of medicine. Charles Drew is right now going through their provisionary accreditation with LCME, which means they're going to be an accredited standalone school of medicine. When it comes to Morehouse School of Medicine, they have already been approved as an accredited standalone school.
All right.
They have no pipeline to another higher education institution. That means they stand alone. That's what I'm telling you. I'm gonna go on mute. Y'all be wanting, y'all don't be, I be knowing.
You're wanting to tell us you want them to be standalones. Okay, we get that part. But what we saying is this though, fam. Which I think we understand what you're saying.
This topic has just took a turn.
It did. It took a left. And it always does. We talk about the HBCU. It takes it all left every time. But you're talking about more of the
people are so passionate that didn't go to HBCU. That blows my mind. I'm gonna go on mute.
Hold on. Don't do that. Don't do that, shot. Don't do that. Don't do that because I ain't going to no damn HBCU. So passionate. Don't do that. I'm just saying that if we gonna have, if he's gonna donate this much money, which is great, and like I said, I'm here for it. I want the leadership of these HBCUs to maximize what they've been given and not misappropriate funds like they've done historically. That's all I'm saying. In 2 to 3 years, because it's gonna take 2 to 3 years if they start developing sustainable programs surrounding, maybe it's surrounding hypertension or diabetes, because diabetes is a big thing when it comes to minority populations, underserved communities. We should see sustainable programs impacting those local communities, because when they have these schools of medicine, these physicians because believe it or not, when you go to a school of medicine, you're a student, but you get a check too. When you go on your rotation, you're an employee. So we should be seeing these future physicians being pushed into the VA, being pushed in county hospitals, and other programs, and other trails of these programs should be also being pushed into these local institutions where they're being exposed to FQACs, they're being exposed to county hospitals, where they're actually providing sustainable programs to assist adverse outcomes in an underserved population. That's all I'm saying. I'm here for the endowment that he gave. I just want the HBCU leaders to not misappropriate funds. That's all.
All right. Well, we're gonna speak positive, and we're gonna hypothetically speak positive, no matter what historically has shown. He donated, which is amazing. He has just added to the lives of future doctors, veterinarians, cancer research, leukemia research, brain research. He has donated to the future medical leaders of this country. So thank you, Mr. Bloomberg. Next topic.
Amen. talking about that stuff too, Shy. Did y'all see about the cancer stuff they just came out with recently? How they about to start having a little bit of cures for those?
No, I did not see that, but I mean, like cancer research, like they've been researching it for years upon decades, and I feel like, well, I ain't gonna be honest. Go ahead.
All right.
Well, we thank you guys for listening to Gemstone Podcast. It's been another great episode. Go ahead and make sure you like and share and subscribe to our podcast. You can find us on various platforms. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Anchor, Pandora Podcasts, and also YouTube. If you want to send us fan mail or come on to our podcast, you can find us at or send us mail at gemstonepodcast@gmail.com. That is gemstonepodcast@gmail.com. It's been a pleasure as always. Peace.